When you combine Mentos and soda, you get an explosive reaction, similar to the ones you just saw. Now, the first thing you need to understand about this reaction is a process called nucleation. If you look at a Mentos close up, you'll see that it has hundreds of thousands of tiny holes. Now, each of these holes is a place where a CO2 molecule can change to gas. The theory is that because of the large number of holes, millions of CO2 bubbles are formed in a matter of seconds. Because the Mentos sinks and the gas is released at the bottom of the soda, you get an explosive release of CO2. The tiny holes that cover the surface of the Mentos are called nucleation sites. These nucleation sites create additional surface area which allow carbon dioxide bubbles to form and escape. If you look at the bar graph, you will see that Diet Coke consistently produced the highest geyser. Now, Canada Dry came in second, Coke came in third, and Mountain Dew came last. Now you might think that a more carbonated soda would produce a higher geyser because it has more CO2 molecules. However, this is simply not the case. The soda that has the most CO2 in it is in fact Mountain Dew. So why is it that it failed so dismally when compared to the other sodas? The answer is chemistry. Diet Coke has 5 main ingredients: carbonated water, aspartame, phosphoric acid, citric acid, potassium benzoate, and of course caffeine. Now the acids and the caffeine do very little to help with the eruption, but the aspartame and the potassium benzoate do help to lower the surface tension of the soda, making it easier for the CO2 bubbles to form. The reason the Mountain Dew failed so much in comparison to the Diet Coke was mainly due to the acid levels of the Mountain Dew. Now, as we know, the surface of the Mentos is covered in tiny holes, but Mountain Dew is so acidic that it actually dissolves the outside of the Mentos and smooths it out. This greatly reduces the number of nucleation sites and therefore the number of CO2 bubbles that can form. So, you have seen the differing effects brought on by the various sodas. But what about the Mentos? Actually, the only Mentos flavor that enables the reaction to occur is mint. All of the other kinds of Mentos are covered in a candy coating that nearly eliminates all of the nucleation sites, which effectively destroys any chance of creating that famous fountain. So, what have we learned? We discovered how the CO2 in carbonated sodas are released by the nucleation sites that cover the Mentos candy. We also learned how the acids in Mountain Dew destroy those nucleation sites, while the chemical components of Diet Coke provide the ideal conditions for the foam eruption. And finally, we determined that only the mint Mentos allows for the famous reaction to occur. And that's it. That's the secret to the soda and Mentos phenomenon.